Do you want to be part of a community that allows you to build connections and learn more about Indigenous ways of life? Look no further than the Native American Student Association. NASA offers several opportunities for students to experience Native culture at NSU, including traditional crafts, games, stomp dances, and more. NASA meets weekly at 5:30 p.m. Thursdays in the Center for Tribal Studies. For more information, email nasa@nsuok.edu.
Hello, welcome to Hawk Talk, the Northeastern's official podcast. I'm Halli Resinger, Advertising Manager of the Northeastern. Today I am joined by Cassidy Bowen, Softball Head Coach, and Mackenzie Donihoo, Softball Assistant Coach. Today we are going to be talking about the reshaping of the softball team and what their future looks like with a new field and coaches. Alrighty, thank you guys for joining me today. Can you guys start off by telling me a little bit about yourselves for the listeners who may not know who you guys are?
Sure. So Cassidy Bowen. So I played softball at the University of Tulsa for 4 years. I graduated from Claremore High School, so native of the area. I've been coaching high school and college softball in Texas, in Houston, and Austin for the past 10 years. So this is my first stop coaching in Oklahoma. I'm super excited about.
Hi guys, I'm Mackenzie Donihoo. I grew up in Mustang, Oklahoma, so about 3 hours from here. I went to the University of Oklahoma to play softball, and then I transferred to Tennessee and then graduated from there. Kind of wanted to get out of softball for a little bit. I went to hair school for, 10 months and then was like, you know what? No, I miss softball. And during that time that I was in hair school, I would coach travel ball teams, and so decided to reach out, and here we are.
Did you guys start coaching in 25?
This at NSU, we took the job in the summer. Some challenges that come with a new coaching staff going into a roster of girls that were recruited by somebody else, right? You don't know on both sides of it. For the players, they don't know what they're getting, and for the coaches, you don't know what they're getting. Obviously, the program had struggled over the past couple of years, so we wanted to come in and really do our best at reinvigorating the program to become competitive again, which poses challenges as well.
I know you guys have other coaching members as well. Was it hard coming in with them as well, or was it like an easy?
I will tell you that our support staff is incredible. I brought a GA with me from Concordia University in Austin, Texas. She's awesome. She played for me last year there, and then the GA that was already here has been so great, helping us transition and kind of bridging that gap from the player to the coaching personnel as well.
And then, is this your first coaching job as well?
This is, yes.
Yeah. How has it been for you?
I actually look at it a lot different because I'm thinking they don't know what they're talking about. And then I'm like, wow, okay, maybe they did. And when you're young, you don't really notice that. And so that's what I've, noticed from playing and being a coach.
So you guys both played. Do you guys take that into accountability when you're coaching your student athletes as well?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that we tell them often is like, hey, we would never ask you to prepare in a way that we didn't prepare in. There's a reason behind why we're having you do what we're having you do, because it was various things that we felt we were successful because we had prepared in that way.
Did you guys take any specific routes when it came to preparing them for the season?
And we made the fall a grind. We were really competitive, really grueling fall, just from a standpoint of we brought in pretty good amount of girls when we took the job, and then obviously the returning roster as well. We want to see who's going to be competitive, who wants to go compete. So that was kind of the basis of our fall schedule, anyways.
Did you guys kind of split them up, work with them one-on-one? How did you guys go about that way?
Your fall's structured in such a way where you have opportunities to do both of those. So during your 8-hour weeks, you're working more in small groups, one-on-one settings. And then once you move into your season, then you're more full team practices. From a workout standpoint, they're in the weight room 3 days a week, throughout the duration of the year. During your off season, that looks more like strength building, and in season, it's looking more like maintenance.
You guys have did you guys have students go out with each other to kind of bond, or what did you guys do for them when you guys brought in?
Yeah, so before the season started, or before school started, we did actually take the team out to Mackenzie's family's lake house and did just kind of a team lake day there. And then we hosted by class, so the freshman class 1 week, sophomore class on to seniors. We hosted a Taco Tuesday night at our house just over the course of 4 weeks. Done a handful of things like that for them. A movie night here and there, those kind of things.
Where's your lake house at?
In Eufaula.
Oh my gosh, I love Eufaula.
People say that the water's dirty, but it's like, it's a lake. It's fine. It's fine. It's a lake.
I just went there this past summer, and I'm like, it's really not that bad.
No, it's not. And there was a lot of rain, so it's way more muddy, and so people aren't used to that. But when it doesn't rain as much, it's not that bad. Yeah.
I saw that you guys are redoing your field. So what prompted that?
Going back to the whole point of how do we become competitive in the conference that we play in, and very frankly, the facilities were so outdated that it's just near impossible to be attractive to any kind of competitive recruit at that point. So that was, for us to go be competitive, that was one of the things we had to tackle right up front.
Did you guys have to go to like meetings or anything when it came about doing that?
I've had to meet with our capital expenditures team a handful of times, but most of that has been handled by our athletic director, which has been great because those aren't the meetings that you want to be sitting in. So
yeah, I didn't know if it would be like athletic directors or anything like that. Is it John Sizemore? Did he give you guys like a specific budget? Like, did you guys get to have any say in how you guys wanted it to be?
So it was all fundraise money. So it was money that we had fundraised, and then they had to go present that to the Russo board to get approval for like the project itself. So there was a project limit that was included in all of that when John had to take it to the Russo.
So besides just like the dugouts, what else is being done to the field?
So the backstop was completely demolished. It was like formerly like a chain link backstop there, and it's been replaced with a 4-pole suspension system where it essentially looks like just one big net, 4 poles that are behind that hold it up. And then you've got the dugouts that are being redone. The bullpens have been redone, or in the middle of being redone, I guess. When we moved, backstop was demolished. The backstop was also moved back, create a larger space between like home plate and the backstop itself. Dugouts were pushed down to improve the viewing lanes from if you're sitting in our stands where the dugouts were before, you couldn't see into left field, and now you can. The wind screens will be replaced. There's a hitter's eye going up in front of the maintenance yard, so you won't have to look at the maintenance yard from the softball field. There's some video replay technology that's being installed actually today. Lots of stuff. The things that will be most prominent to somebody just walking in is going to be the dugouts and the backstop.
Is your guys' dugout connected to the building now?
It is. Okay. Yes. So that goes from our locker room into hitting bay and then into the dugout.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I saw that like in the middle of this construction that's happening with your guys' field, I saw that you guys are playing on turf fields right now. Is that what you guys are doing for practices and games currently?
No, right now all of our practices are at Talcott High School, so they've been gracious enough to host us there. So that's where we practice. And then the games that we played this past weekend were at Anthus Brenham, and it was just coincidentally a Division II tournament that was being held here.
When you guys were talking about like redoing the field, did you guys like immediately be like, oh, where are we practicing? Or was it already kind of planned out that way?
We knew that we would have the option if Tahlequah High School would agree to host us there, or those city fields that we were actually playing at this weekend here. Our home field is a dirt field, so it's more advantageous for us to be on dirt the majority of the time. So we did know that would be an obstacle, but felt confident that one of those two places we would be able to get on the field at.
When are you guys hoping that the field will be done, or is there a date that it's supposed to be done?
Our first home game is on February 28th, and we do expect that it will be done. Okay. It'll be playable for sure. There may be a few things in the dugouts like helmet cubbies and hooks on the wall, some of those very minor things that won't be done yet, but it will be playable by the 28th.
What else have you guys done for this upcoming season that maybe we haven't mentioned? Like any extra training, any extra...
There's not a lot of extra to it. The NCAA gives you regulations where you've got 20 hours a week, 4 hours a day. We allocate 3 hours a week of that to their weight training, and we really try to maximize the time that we have with them on the field. We often don't get anywhere near that limit, mainly because we try to run at a pretty fast pace during practice that we get in and we get a lot of work done in a short amount of time. So it's not a grueling day for them to still have, their studies. And then a lot of them do have jobs as well. So I wouldn't say there's anything extra. We try to be super intentional with what we're doing and how we do it.
So talking about like the practice schedule, do you guys have like a day where you play live? Like what type of days are you doing on what? Is there a schedule, or is it just like playing it by ear?
There's a loose schedule. So we go through every practice. We're doing some component of like individual defense. So say position specific, whether they're an infielder, an outfielder, pitcher, catcher. Then we'll roll into a team defensive segment, followed by a hitting segment. And that hitting segment is where we vary from, is it going to be live today or is it going to be BP today? That's really, where the variance comes between live or not.
I do want to hear a little bit from the both of you, maybe about like your own experiences into this, or like with some of the help of your other coaches as well, and maybe even some teammates. How do you guys go about, like, if you guys like have certain ideas to kind of like implement into the program or anything like that? How are you guys going about that? And if it's like a player or another coach, how do you guys go about working through those? Even if it's just like trying it out, and maybe if it doesn't work, you don't have to do it again.
It would just like pop up ideas. It's not like, I don't know, you just say, hey, I think this or this, and if somebody thinks this and we just add on to it to try to make it better or whatever it is,
We're pretty collaborative, yeah. Yeah, our biggest thing is like we just don't want to waste time. So like if we're doing something, there are various teaching points or practice points to that one thing. We do also structure our practices where it's super competitive. Like, for example, if we're doing some kind of short game offensive strategy, our defense is playing live against it, I'll be coaching the defensive live. Mackenzie's coaching the offensive live, and I'm trying to win and she's trying to win. So it creates a very game-like situation for the girls. So that's where we live. That's the space we like to live in.
Do you guys have specific positions that you like coaching the best?
I like to coach infield a lot more than outfield, but it's fine. I can play both.
What positions did you guys play when you guys were players?
I was our third baseman my freshman year at Tulsa, and then I was our catcher my sophomore year through senior year.
When I was at Oklahoma, I played outfield, and then when I transferred to Tennessee, I played shortstop.
Can you guys tell me a little bit about like when the games first started, around what time it was, and your guys' approach on game day?
We opened our season in Gulf Shores, Alabama. We opened that tournament actually playing the number 6 team in the country at that time. And I think our girls were finally in a place where they felt prepared. Like, we have put in a tremendous amount of work between the day we reported in August to today. And we are really intense in practice settings. And I think they got to experience us write a lineup and let them go play, and found that they were prepared. And, through our every game that they've been in, really, it's a contest of who is out hitting who at this point, not lack of preparation, which I think that they're super excited and feel confident in their.
I know some of the seniors have had that. Now I know that you're their third head coach, but do you think some of them were hesitant when you first came in, and now they're a little bit more relaxed?
Yeah, I would say so. It's always there's always an adjustment period, but they do buy into why we're doing what we're doing, just because, simply we played at a high level, and they find, probably some confidence in that.
After you guys have won some of your recent games, how do you guys come back here, like recoup and get back out on the field to keep winning? What is both of your guys' approach to that, or the whole team's approach to that?
We do a lot of film review. Most of the time, that's something that Mackenzie and I are doing separately. And when we find a moment like, okay, this is beneficial for them, like pulling them in and letting them know, kind of where the situation broke, or, what could be better in it.
I would say, focusing on what we can focus on. Like, if I'm not doing good in a certain area, I need to focus on that for the team, not, look at myself and think, okay, why didn't I do this? No, look at yourself and think, like, what can I do for the team? And I think if we can really focus on what's best for the team and get there, then I think we'll be good going further.
And a lot of the girls that are struggling in any way, like, they're very quick to seek out additional help. There's not a lot of time that we are able to sit in our chairs in our office because somebody's knocking on the door asking to come hit or take ground balls or whatever that may be. So as a coach, you love to see that because you're not having to press them. It's something that they want and are seeking.
I want to know how both of you guys kind of work one-on-one with each athlete, if they're, if they're struggling or if they need help in anything, or when you guys do go up to them, how do you guys handle this?
I think when some of the girls come up and ask me like for help, I'm always there to help them, but I want to reassure them that, hey, this, just trust it. And if you aren't doing what you're supposed to do, just have confidence, because the more confidence you have, the easier it is to play whatever position or hitting, whatever you're doing. That's what like to do.
So, do you guys think that the training that you guys did during your preseason in the fall kind of went towards how you guys are doing this season?
Absolutely. Again, like I said before, we specifically made it hard. We wanted to do that so that game days felt easy. We wanted it to be competitive so that they were used to playing under pressure, and all of that. All of that plays a big part into why they're able to go play with, a little bit of confidence and comfort in high pressure situations.
So, how many more games do you guys have? Or is it like just starting?
It's just starting. So we have played 13 so far.
We probably have 60 more?
We have 40 more games. 40 more.
Really? I feel like we have a lot more. But...
So is that just like regular season games?
That is regular season games. Yeah. You've got an allowance of 56 games during the spring. We borrowed a couple games from the spring to be able to play some more fall games. But yeah.
Of course. And then do you guys is there like a championship, or how does that work with the D2 schools?
Yep, there's a conference tournament at the end of the season, and then just like Division I would play, you roll into a regional, super regionals World Series format. So conference tournament winners get automatic bids to regionals, and then there are at-large bids that you can earn based on your schedule, your strength of schedule, various other things.
Are you guys, is that like the ultimate goal for this season, is to make it to there? Yeah.
I don't know how long it's been since NSU has played in a conference tournament, but I know they haven't even made the conference tournament in a long time. So obviously keeping our eyes on the next thing, right? We want to go compete well in conference play, compete well in the conference tournament, and so forth.
Yeah, like I said, I know you guys have been doing great, so I definitely see like a shift in energy this year with, just like even different teams. Like I know that Coach Chev will post things on his story as well. So I definitely seen like a shift in energy since you guys have both started. So I'm glad to see it. Like you guys are building a great team. Do you guys have anything else that you're trying to work on with the team besides just the training aspect of it? Do you guys have like an open door sort of thing, or
when you say open door, what do you mean?
Like if they're needing help like with classes or anything like that, are you allowing them to come in and sit down and kind of talk about it?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Macy, one of our GAs, does an incredible job really with she's always sitting in the office tutoring them. I have a finance and accounting degree, so there aren't a lot of them that are knocking on my door for class help, but we do see them in and out various things, whether it's personally related, school related, whatever it is. I think it's very, very dependent on who the player connects with. There are some girls that don't connect great with me, but do with Mackenzie, or don't connect with me, but connect with one of the GAs really well. It's all about, personality fit.
What do you guys want to tell, maybe future athletes or listeners?
NSU is an interesting school from a softball standpoint because there's no excuse for this program to not be ultra competitive with where it geographically is. You've got a tremendous ability to pull from the Northwest Arkansas region, from Missouri, Kansas, Texas. There's a ton of good softball talent in those places. So we're just really excited to put our heads down and go to work and, give the program what it deserves.
Yeah. What about to future athletes? What advice would you give them, whether it's coming here, whether it's, going to another school? What would you tell the softball players?
I would say always put in extra work, because you never know when that 1 second is up and you want to be ready for it. That's super, super important. And to just be a good teammate. Sometimes you might not always get what you want, but how do you want to be remembered as a bad teammate or a good teammate? I'd rather be looked at as a good teammate and always be able to be called upon.
While I'm thinking about it, how do you guys have a good amount of freshmen, seniors, sophomores, juniors? Is it kind of split up, or are you losing a lot of seniors and having to recruit more?
I think we are at 9 seniors and 3 freshmen. So we are pretty heavily loaded seniors. A lot of the girls that came in over the summer were junior college kids or transfers from other schools. So those were, predominantly upperclassmen there. And there wasn't a big recruiting class that came in as freshmen. So we've got a decent size class coming in next year between freshmen and then incoming transfers.
I do want to add on to that, though. How do you guys come about finding the job? did you guys, did they seek you guys out? Did you guys find the open positions? How was that?
So I was making calls for a former player of mine in Houston, trying to get her in touch with a school in Palm Beach, Florida, try to get her in touch with this coach so that she could try to walk on there. And in the event of, trying to make that connection happen for her, that job was actually open in Palm Beach. And my dad, who is also a softball coach, I picked up the phone and called him like, hey, am I crazy to move to Palm Beach for this job? He's like, absolutely. Like, you have no network there. Like, your network is in Oklahoma and the NSU job is open right now. So it was, that straightforward.
I just applied. Yeah, if Cass wants to tell the story about how I catfished her.
So the HR system at NSU, whenever somebody applies, it sends you an email. And I was like, there is no way Mackenzie Donihoo applied for this job. So I pick up the phone and call the number, and it goes to the number you've dialed is.
Because I accidentally put the wrong number.
So I'm like, you know what? I'll just send an email to the email just in case.
Yeah.
Hey, I just tried to call. It's not a working number. And sometimes, people just come into your life that is the right fit. Mackenzie reminds me of myself a lot. 10 years ago, she's got a ton of passion, ton of fire, ton of knowledge, no nonsense. She'll be a great head coach someday. And we're just thankful to have her here with us now.
Yeah. So you said, yeah. Well, Cassidy and Mackenzie, thank you so much for sitting down with me, and I hope we can talk again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Hawk Talk podcast. You can find us at nsunews.com, Spotify, or follow our social media pages at TNE News on Instagram and the Northeastern on Facebook for the latest NSU news.
Anna Lou's Tattoos has been serving the people of Tahlequah since 2018. Anna Lou's is locally owned by artist Dustin Sixkiller, who's been tattooing all across the U.S. for almost a decade. The shop offers relaxed vintage shop vibes decorated with Dustin's hand-drawn tattoos. Visit Anna Lou's, located at 117 North Muskogee Avenue, or visit their Facebook or Instagram to stay up to date on flash sales and availability.